What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Tuesday, August 12th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, what a day. Weird all over the place. Ends up pretty okay, though. We end up 4-2. We hit the Phillies, Cincinnati under 9.5. Both starters very solid, and while the Reds bullpen did give up a run, we'll for sure cash our under there with that 4-1 win for the Phillies. We backed that up with a win there on the Tigers at -135. A wild 2-1 win after a rain delay there in the top of the ninth with 2 outs. So yeah, a very, very late rain delay. A great day for the pitching staff there for Detroit. I guess for the White Sox too, if we're being honest. And everything works out in the end for us in that one. A very close win, but we'll take it. We nailed the Brewers there at -1.5. That was a +105, so a nice plus money win there. A 7-1 win behind a very solid 6 innings there from Quintana, and a big offensive day that saw a couple of Brewers home runs, and Milwaukee pile up 11 hits. So a nice win there. We had a 4th straight win on the Rangers at -160. It took extra innings and a clutch hit there in the ninth, but we do get the win there on the Rangers, despite Eovaldi having one of his worst starts of the season. Now, that's where the good news ends. We did break out our dog of the day. We had the Washington Nationals at +125. They were leading a couple different points in this seesaw game, but eventually give up the lead there for good in the bottom of the 6th. Getting a win with a bullpen as bad as the Nationals is going to be pretty tough. We also had Boston at -173 as our massive lock of the day. Somehow, we get one of the worst starts of the entire year from Crochet and a bad bullpen day on top of that, but Boston still makes it very, very close, eventually losing 7-6 with a strikeout happening there with a runner in scoring position. So could have forced, extras in that one. Yeah, but very annoying to lose there with Boston. I don't know what happened to Crochet, but he was just absolutely garbage out there. So a 4-2 day. Nonetheless, though, guys, we're not going to complain too much about that. We've got a full slate of games to hop into. Also, we'll recap what ended up being a perfect premium slate there for our MLB members. So we'll definitely look into that as well. But let's go ahead and dive in right now to our first game of the day. We've got the Seattle Mariners headed to Baltimore to take on the Orioles. The Mariners come into this game fresh off another win. This team is playing some of their best ball of the season at the perfect time. They've won 7 straight games. They are now 1 game back there of Houston in the AL West. They're going to hand the ball in this game to George Kirby. He comes into it 7-5 on the year, a 4.04 ERA. His last start was against the White Sox. An 8-6 win there for the Mariners. He went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits and 2 earned runs. His last 3 outings have all been excellent. Now, shutting down the White Sox, Rangers, and Angels isn't exactly amazing, but very good pitching when they desperately needed it. So I think, the Mariners will definitely take that. We'll see what he can do here against Baltimore, a team that he faced back in early June, right pretty much after his season started. His season didn't start until late May, and he was pretty good. 5 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, and it was eventually a 5-1 loss. So we'll see what Kirby looks like in this game. I'm expecting him to be fine. The Mariners bullpen has been decent all year long, so that's not a big concern either. The problem for this team, when it has a problem, is their offense, but 6, 7, 3, 4, 8, 8, and 5 over this winning streak. They're swinging the bats pretty well. Cal Raleigh all the way up to 45 home runs now. The Mariners are 10th in the majors in runs scored and 10th in slugging percentage. This is definitely a dangerous team at the plate. So we'll see what they can do here at Camden Yards, taking on these Orioles, who are 53-65 on the year. Their season is pretty much over, guys. They're going to hand the ball to Dean Kremer in this game. He is 8-8 on the season, a 4.35 ERA. His last 4 starts have all been losses for the Orioles. He hasn't been atrocious in those starts, but he also hasn't been very good. So we'll see what he can actually get done, but I'm a little bit worried. He even struggled pretty aggressive there against the Rockies. That is not a good look. We'll see what he does here against the Mariners, a team that I would have thought would have faced earlier in the year. Has he not faced the Mariners? I guess he hasn't faced the Mariners this season, but not too high on Dean Kremer right now. Definitely not too high on that Orioles bullpen. They've been bad all year, and the offense took a massive step back last season. They've scored 2, 3, 3, 5, 0, and 3 over their last few games. This is not a good offensive team. 22nd in batting average, 24th in on base percentage. Not going to be expecting them to put up big numbers anytime soon. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Mariners are -155. The Orioles are +130. We've got a total of 9.5 in this game. Seattle's 29-28 on the road, 32-24-1 to the over on the road. Baltimore 28-29 at home, 30-25-2 to the over at home. Given those trends, I wouldn't blame anyone for leaning towards the over in this game. I think that's okay. In terms of my favorite play, though, I will lean towards the Mariners at -155 with Kirby on the mound. Kremer has had some good starts, but not recently, so I do think the Mariners probably just keep this streak going. Next on the docket, we've got the Miami Marlins headed to Cleveland to take on the Guardians. The Marlins come into this game 57-61 on the year. They've lost 3 straight games, though. They played, I guess, technically like a 5-game series there with a makeup game, if you're counting that in there. But yeah, went 1-4 there against Atlanta. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Jansen Junk, who is sporting a 3.97 ERA. His last start, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs given up against Houston. He hasn't been that sharp over his last 4 outings, so not expecting miracles here from Jansen Junk. We'll see what he can do, though, against Cleveland, a team that he has not faced this year. The Marlins bullpen, not looking too hot recently, up to a 4.19 bullpen ERA, and the offense kind of disappeared on them. 1-6, 1-5, 6, 6, and 3 over their last few games is not atrocious, obviously. They're 18th in the majors in runs scored, 9th in batting average, but certainly not an offense that I'm terrified of at the moment. So we'll see what they do here in Cleveland, taking on the Guardians, who at 61-56 on the year had been playing pretty well. They did have their winning streak snapped there with a loss against the White Sox, but this team has been playing well down the stretch. They're going to hand the ball here to Logan Allen, somebody that you're going to need to be really good to finish out the season. He's 7-9 on the year, a 3.96 ERA, but his last couple of starts, very good. 7 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs against Colorado. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run against the Mets. Both of those games were in wins, so we'll see if he can keep that trend going here as he faces the Marlins. Has he faced the Marlins? No, he has not faced the Marlins this season, so we'll see how that goes. I'm expecting Logan Allen to be pretty good out there. Obviously, the Cleveland bullpen is no joke at all. Top 6, top 7 in the majors, a 3.50 bullpen ERA. The problem for this team, generally speaking, this season has been their lack of offense, but they've kind of figured that out down the stretch. I mean, they're coming off a game where they scored 4, the game for that 3, 9, 4, 3, like not putting up crazy numbers, but we've seen Jose Ramirez hit the ball a little bit better down the stretch. They're still last in the majors in batting average, though, and 26th in runs scored. Definitely not an offensive juggernaut. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Marlins are plus 118. The Guardians are minus 140. We've got a total of 9 out there. Miami 29-30 on the road, 29-28 and 2 to the over on the road. Cleveland 29-27 at home, 28-27 and 1 to the over at home. Not a lot of super strong trends to go with in this game. In general, I'm going to back the Guardians. They, really have a lot still to play for, and I don't think that's really still the case for the Marlins, but I do think the Guardians at minus 140 is a little bit rich here, but it's definitely not a spot that I hate. Cruising through these games, we've got the Philadelphia Phillies headed to Cincinnati to take on the Reds. The Phillies came up with the 4-1 win in Game 1 of this series. Slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing the under with us there yesterday. Now, the Phillies, they're 20 games above 500 now. They've got a 6-game lead in the NL East. They are in cruise mode, I would think, but playing well. They'll hand the ball in this game to Ranger Suarez, who is 8-5 on the year, a 2.94 ERA. His last start, 6 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned runs given up there against Baltimore. Also wasn't, that dominant against Detroit his last time on the mound, but we've seen him go through these stretches this season. He can be a little bit concerning. He could also go out there and throw a no-hitter. So we'll see what happens here. The last time he faced the Reds was back on July 5th. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run allowed, and a 5-1 win. That was at home. This one's going to be at the Great American Ballpark, so we'll see what he does. I'm expecting Suarez to be fine out there, but maybe not dominant given how he's thrown the ball recently. The Phillies bullpen continues to be a bit of a problem. Now, they are trending in the right direction right now. We'll see if that continues, but I will always be worried about the Phillies bullpen. The offense, 4-4-3, 9-1, and 5 over their last few games. They're not in the cover off the ball. I mean, Schwarber hit his 42nd home run, so that's dope, but they're 5th in runs scored, 9th in runs scored, 5th in batting average. I just can't get all that Jones stuff about their offense right now, not putting up the craziest numbers. So we'll see what they do here in Cincinnati, taking on the Reds, who, got off to a rough start to their series. They're only 4 games above 500. A lot of work to do down the stretch to make the playoffs. Well, maybe not a lot, but a good amount of work to do. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Brady Singer, who comes into this one 9-9 on the year, a 4.53 ERA. His last start, not so hot there at the Pirates, guys. 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs allowed, and a 7-0 loss. Not great. Now, the 2 games before that, he did a great job against both Atlanta and Tampa Bay, but struggled before that against Washington. So, as you can see, a little bit inconsistent. We'll see what he does against the Phillies. He hasn't pitched against them this season, but I'm not that high on Brady Singer in this specific spot. The Reds' bullpen has also been a little bit inconsistent, but is headed in the right direction recently, so we'll give him credit for that. The offense has been a little bit cold. I know they had that 14-run game there against the Pirates, but 1-14, 2-2, 0, 1, 5, and 3 over their last few. Not the hottest hitting for a team that was top 10 in the majors in runs scored there for a while, but 21st in slugging percentage and 16th in batting average, I think paints a more accurate picture of where this team is actually at the plate. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Phillies are minus 150. The Reds are plus 128. We've got a total of 9 out there. The Phillies are 31-28 on the road, 35-21-3 to the under on the road. The Reds are 33-25 at home, 35-18-5 to the under at home. Huge trends towards the under. This is what we were looking at in game 1 of this series. In game 2, we still got a total of 9 out there. I think taking the under is very live in this game. Could end up in the pinned comment. Definitely not out of the question. In terms of a side, I'm going to lean just slightly towards the Phillies at -150, but no real conviction in that lean on the side. Hey guys, hopping in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link down there in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, UFC, and NFL preseason picks, with regular season NFL and college football coming up before you know it. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row and is off to a great 2025 season so far. Obviously, we're pretty deep into the season and things continue to go pretty well. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the videos, as I'm not the premium MLB handicapper over there at Stump The Spread. We have a genius with many more years of experience than me covering MLB every single day. He uses some very sophisticated tools and algorithms to make his predictions, and he's taking a crazy amount of data points into consideration on every single game, and the research sure paid off there yesterday, guys. A perfect 3-0 day. Got off to a good start there with the Phillies as a 1-unit play. Solid cash on that one. He had the no-run first inning in that Arizona-Texas Rangers game. No-run first inning came through as well as a 1-unit play, and he had a 2-unit play there on the Rangers. Now, obviously, he did not predict Eovaldi to have a terrible start, but the Rangers do still come away with the win. That is a solid winning day there, guys, cashing a 2-unit and 2 1-unit play. So a 3-0 day. If you even went against our advice and did a parlay in that one, still a winner. So you'll love to see that, the perfect 3-0 day there for our premium members, guys. So definitely get over there to StumpTheSpread.com. Check out all the premium stuff that we offer over there. See if there's a premium package that might be right for you. But also check out all the free stuff we offer over there. There's a free-to-use bet size calculator that I encourage everyone to use to make sure you're not risking too much of your bankroll on any one day. There's also free picks that are exclusively posted over there every single day. And guys, you got to get over there to get on the free email newsletter. It's a great resource every single day. There will be at least one free pick in that email every day. Usually there will be 2 free picks. There's information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, tennis, all kinds of good stuff like that. WNBA is often covered in there, and lots of people I've seen in the comments singing the praises of those WNBA plays. So definitely get over there by clicking the link in the description and check that out. All I need for you to get on that email list is to sign up for a free account. All they need is your name and your email address. That's it. You'll get 1 email every single day. Also, if you're having trouble getting those emails, check your spam folder. They can occasionally end up in there. But also, guys, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing here every single day, sign up for a YouTube channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get a name up on screen in every video, and also get access to our members-only giveaways. SC has still not claimed his giveaway there from yesterday. So SC, you're a channel member. Get down here in the comments and let me know that you won the giveaway so we can get that hoodie out to you as soon as possible. Other than that, guys, really appreciate all my channel members. Love seeing you down there in the comments. Let's go ahead and dive back in, though. We've got a ton of games to cover here, and next up, we're going to be looking at the Minnesota Twins, headed to New York to take on the Yankees. The Twins come into this game fresh off a tough 6-2 loss in Game 1 of this series, and right now at 56-62 on the year, looking like their season is kind of starting to spiral a little bit. Unfortunately, we don't have a confirmed starter here for the Twins, so it's a little bit up in the air who's actually going to end up on the mound. We'll see who ends up out there, but yeah, not a lot of spots to love right now for the Twins, if I'm being honest. The bullpen has been atrocious down the stretch. They had that one really long winning streak there for a while, and I was like, oh, maybe the Twins are actually good. Maybe the bullpen's good. Turns out that was kind of a mirage. The offense also hasn't been great down the stretch here either. I mean, 2-5-0 over their last 3 games. They did have a little stretch there, a couple games against the Tigers, 1 game against the Royals where they were hitting the ball, but really, guys, this is not the kind of team we're going to be super jazzed up about. So we'll see what they do here at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees obviously have to be in desperation mode at this point. Desperate need of every single win they can get. They're 6 games back in the AL East. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Carlos Rodon. He comes into this game 11-7 on the year, a 3.35 ERA. His last start, 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and a 3-2 win there at the Rangers. So good stuff there. He hasn't been lights out really recently. Since the All-Star break, hasn't been that good. The Yankees are 2-2 over his 4 starts. We'll see which version we get here of him here. Going up against the Twins, has to be at least kind of good news. I don't believe he has not faced Minnesota this year, but we'll see how it looks. I'm expecting Rodon to be good. The Yankees bullpen, I don't know about that one. A 4.24 bullpen ERA. This bullpen has not been great this season at all down the stretch here. And the offense, 6-1-5-3-3 and 0 over their last few games is not great. I know they hit a bunch of home runs there yesterday. Cool. Congratulations. You're going to need to show me success at the plate over a bigger sample size. They're all the way down to 15th in batting average, 4th in on base percentage, so that's cool. This team still has work to do for sure. So looking at the numbers, unfortunately, there aren't any for this game. So this is going to have to be a wait-and-see spot. Obviously, the Yankees are a pretty good home team. The Twins are a pretty bad road team, and both teams showing significant trends towards the under. So a lot of different plays could be in play for this game once we have numbers and a confirmed starter for the Twins. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Chicago Cubs headed to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. The Cubs at 67-50 on the year. Got a tough loss there in the last game of the series against the Cardinals, losing 3-2. Now they got to head to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. A little bit of a different situation. Now they're going to hand the ball in this game to Ben Brown. He comes into it 5-7 on the year, a 6.04 ERA. This young 25-year-old righty hasn't exactly been killing it all season necessarily, but his last two outings have to have brought up a lot of hope there for the Cubs. See what they'll get from him down the stretch. His last time on the mound was a bullpen appearance, but he went 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, and 1 earned run there against the Reds. Very, very good stuff. Now, the Cubs did lose that game 3-2, but it certainly wasn't his fault. His outing before that was a start there against the White Sox, and he was excellent, so maybe Ben Brown figuring things out. About to be severely tested here, though, going up against the Toronto Blue Jays. The Cubs bullpen, it's been decent all year long. Borderline elite at some points, but right now, not maybe the best. A 3.88 bullpen ERA. They've got some work to do out there. The offense sliding a little bit. 2-9, 0-6, 1-2, and 5 over their last few games. Not the norm for a team that's second in the majors in runs scored and 4th in slugging percentage. They could round back into form, but once again, guys, doing that against the Blue Jays might not be the easiest look. Toronto comes into this game fresh off of only winning 1 out of 3 there at the Dodgers. Playing at the Dodgers, not the easiest situation. They've still got a 4.5 game lead there in the AL East. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Jose Barrios, who is 8-4 in the season, a 3.89 ERA. His last start, though, 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, and 4 runs given up against the Rockies. Not a great look. They did win that game 10-4, so it didn't really matter. And they are 4-0 over his last 4 starts. I'm not going to say that he's been lights out over those starts, so it's been a little bit all over the place. So we'll see what he can do in this one. I'm not necessarily expecting miracles. I don't feel like he has not faced the Cubs this season. The Blue Jays bullpen, while I was looking elite there for quite a while, has ended up in a mediocre territory. A 4.06 bullpen ERA. Gonna need to be better than that if they want to find playoff success. The offense also, weirdly a letdown series there. They scored 5-1-1 in that series against the Dodgers after putting up buku numbers there against the Rockies. So we'll see if the offense can get back after it. They're first in batting average and first in on-base percentage, 6th in runs scored. This is an elite offense, don't get me wrong. They just had a little bit of a rough time there. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Cubs are plus 118. The Blue Jays are minus 140. We've got a total of 9 in this game. The Cubs are 31-28 on the road, 30-25-4 to the under on the road. Toronto's 38-19 at home. That's an MLB best home mark. They are 34-21-2 to the over at home. That's also an MLB best. First up, I don't hate over 9 in this game. I think Toronto could get some runs off of Ben Brown. I don't think Jose Barrios is going to go out there and shut out the Cubs either. So I definitely think we could see them get to double-digit runs in this game. I also think this is a pretty good spot to back the Blue Jays. The Cubs going up north there, I don't think this is going to be the most comfortable spot for them. I also think Barrios on the mound should be good enough, and those Toronto bats probably going to have a pretty good time out there against young Ben Brown. Cruising along, guys, we got the Atlanta Braves headed to New York to take on the Mets. The Braves come into this game 51-67 on the year, but just won 4 out of 5 there against the Marlins. They'll hand the ball in this game to Spencer Strider. He is 5-9 on the year, a 4.04 ERA. His last start was against the Brewers. 4 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 5 earned runs surrendered in a 5-4 loss. That is a rough outing, for sure. Now, the dude's been pretty solid overall this season, so maybe he bounces back here going up against the Mets. We'll see, but definitely not coming off one of his best starts, so I guess that does qualify him as in a bounce-back spot, and he has faced the Mets twice this season, both in back-to-back starts there in June, and he was pretty good in both of those, and we saw the Braves win both of those, so definitely positive history here for Spencer Strider. The Braves bullpen, an ERA right around 4, definitely not great, but they looked okay there in that series against the Marlins. That's definitely the truth. The offense, 7-8-7, 1-8-4 over their last few games is pretty hot hitting for a team that's 20th in batting average, 20th in runs scored, and 15th in on-base percentage. Obviously not the scariest offense, but we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Mets, a team they've definitely had success against this season, and a team that is sliding. They're all the way 6 games back in the NL East. They're 63-55 on the year. They've lost their last 7 in a row, and what is it up to now? 11 of their last 12 or something crazy. So yeah, not a lot of good news right now for Mets fans. They'll hand the ball in this game to Clay Holmes, who's 9-6 this season, a 3.46 ERA. His last start, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs surrendered there against Cleveland, and was eventually a 3-2 loss. The Mets are only 1-4 over his last 5 starts. He didn't do a very good job against San Diego. He was good against the Giants, but struggled against the Reds, and was decent against the Royals. So we'll see which version we get of him here going up against Atlanta. He also faced Atlanta a couple times back in late June, and he was mediocre in one start and good in the other start. So we'll see which version of him we get here. The bullpen for the Mets has turned into a problem down the stretch, up to a 3.81 bullpen ERA. In their offense, 6-4, 2-1, 2-6 over their last few games. Not swinging the hottest bats. Not terrible necessarily. I mean, they're currently 23rd in batting average, though, and 16th in runs scored? Not what was supposed to be going on for the Mets this season. So looking at the numbers, guys. The Braves are plus 118. The Mets are minus 140. We've got a total of 8 in this game. Atlanta's 20-37 on the road, 28-25-4 to the over on the road. The Mets are 38-21 at home, 29-27-3 to the under at home. I'm not interested in the total in this game, guys, but I'm leaning towards the Atlanta Braves with Spencer Strider on the mound. He's kind of owned the Mets this year. Obviously, we've seen Clay Holmes with mixed results against Atlanta. I think this Braves team still wants to win, at least in this matchup. I think Atlanta could go in there and get the win here, and plus 118 is a little bit enticing as well, so the Braves could be our dog of the day. Next up, we've got the Detroit Tigers headed to Chicago to take on the White Sox. Slam that thumbs up button, guys, if you enjoyed cashing the Tigers with us there yesterday on that weird super late rain delay game. They'll hand the ball in this one to Jack Flaherty. He's 6-11 on the year, a 4.56 ERA. His last start, not that good. He had back-to-back good starts, dominated the Phillies, dominated the Toronto Blue Jays, but then sucked it up against the Minnesota Twins. That's kind of Flaherty's career in a nutshell. This kid has electric stuff, but then he can go out there and have a stinker even against a bad team. So we'll see what he does against a bad team in this one. I'm sure he's faced the White Sox this season before. Yeah, he was very good back on June 2nd. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run allowed in a 13-1 blowout win. So we'll see if that's the version of Jack Flaherty we get in this one. The Tigers' bullpen has obviously been a huge problem down the stretch. They're hoping that can round back into form once the playoffs come up. And I mean, obviously, a team with a 6.5 game lead there in the AL Central, they're pretty confident of the playoff situation. The offense coming up with only 2 runs in game 1 of the series, not the best look. This offense has been in a downward trend for quite some time now. They're still 8th in the majors in runs scored and 10th in batting average, but not an offense that I am incredibly excited about on a night-to-night basis. So we'll see what they do here in Chicago, taking on the White Sox, who at 43-76 on the year, obviously having a pretty rough time once again. There have been some reasons for excitement for the White Sox this year, but those reasons are kind of far in between. So we'll see what happens in this one, guys. We don't have a confirmed starter for the White Sox. I don't necessarily think there's going to be a bullpen start for them, but I guess it's not impossible. A 3.76 bullpen ERA is not terrible, and their bullpen start there yesterday actually went pretty well. So we'll see how things work out in this one. The offense continues to be terrible. One of the worst offenses in the majors. I mean, they are second to last in batting average, second to last in slugging percentage, and second to last in on-base percentage. So pretty rough stuff there for the White Sox. No numbers are posted yet for this game at time of recording, so we'll see what actually ends up getting posted for this one and see if it makes the pinned comment. But yeah, this is going to have to be a wait-and-see spot until we get more info. Next up, guys, we've got the Pittsburgh Pirates head to Milwaukee to take on the Brewers. Slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing Milwaukee minus 1.5 with us there yesterday. Now, the Pirates at 51-69 on the year haven't had a great time. They've lost their last 3 in a row. They're hitting the ball in this one to Paul Skeens. The only reason for excitement for this team, really. I mean, he's 7-8 on the year, a 1.94 ERA. His last start, 6 innings pitched, 7 hits allowed, gave up no runs, and was eventually a 7-0 win there against the Reds. The Pirates are 4-0 over his last 4 starts, so congrats on that. Yeah, obviously we love what we've seen from Paul Skeens this year. There's no way around that. We'll see what he can do here against the Brewers. Last time he faced them was actually one of his rare bad starts. 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs allowed there in a 4-2 loss at Milwaukee back on June 25th, so not that long ago. He did have a good start against them back in late May, so maybe that last start was just a little bit of an aberration. We'll see. The bullpen for the Pirates hasn't been a complete disaster, but also not great. The offense has been a disaster, guys. They are last in the majors in runs scored. They are last in slugging percentage. this just is not a team you can trust to get a run across the plate really on any night. So we'll see what they do here in Milwaukee, taking on the Brewers, who've won 10 straight games now. They are absolutely cruising, a 6.5 game lead there in the NL Central. They'll hand the ball to Freddie Peralta in this one. He's 13-5 on the year, a 3.03 ERA. His last start, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run in a 7-2 win at Atlanta. We'll see what he can do in this matchup against the Pirates. You obviously wouldn't expect him to have a tough time, but he faced them back in late June and wasn't incredible. 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs allowed. Also faced them back in late May and wasn't amazing in that start either. So maybe this isn't the best matchup here for Peralta, or maybe just doesn't take the Pirates seriously. The Brewers bullpen, 3.85 bullpen ERA is actually solid progress in the right direction for this team's bullpen. The offense has been mashing, guys. 7-7-7, 3-5-7, 3-14, 8, and 16 over this winning streak, guys. They are up to 5th in runs scored in the majors, 3rd in batting average, and 3rd in on-base percentage, and they come into this game swinging some pretty hot bats. So, looking at the numbers here, guys, the Pirates are plus 105. The Brewers are minus 125. We got a total of 7 in this game. The Pirates are 17-39 on the road, 33-21 2 to the under on the road. Milwaukee is 39-20 at home, 32-26 1 to the under at home. I know the trends are pointing towards the under here, guys, but I don't love it. Not great history here for Skeens, not amazing history here for Peralta, so I'll probably stay away from the total. In terms of the side, plus 105 is just not a good enough price. I know it's Skeens on the mound, but the Pirates could legitimately get shut out in this game, even though Peralta, doesn't have an amazing history against them this year. So, yeah, this game is going to be a little bit of a stay away spot for me. I will take the Brewers at minus 125, but not a ton of value here. Next up, we're looking at the Washington Nationals, headed to Kansas City to take on the Royals. The Nationals couldn't quite get it done despite having the lead a couple different times in that game as their dog of the day yesterday. In this one, they're going to hand the ball to Mitchell Parker. He's 7-12 on the year, a 5.43 ERA. His last start was against the Athletics, and that did not go well. Start for that was against Milwaukee. He got shelled. So, yeah, this kid not having a great time here down the stretch. We'll see what he can do against the Royals. Not the scariest offense out there, but I'm not expecting miracles from him or that MLB worst bullpen the Nationals have. Also, their offense, 4-8, 4-0-0-2 over their last few games. This team is not finishing up the season very well. Let's put it that way. They're 18th in batting average, 21st in runs scored, and they're looking like it. So we'll see what they do here in Kansas City. The Royals at 59-60 on the year have to be pretty much in desperation mode the rest of the way. We'll hand the ball in this one to Michael Wacha. He is 6-9 on the year, a 3.36 ERA. His last 5 starts, this dude has hit his stride, no doubt about it. Hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any. He's given up a grand total of 6 earned runs over his last 5 starts. The Royals are still only 3-2 over that span, but Bro went out and pitched 8 innings of 1-run ball against the Toronto Blue Jays. He's throwing it well. So I'm expecting him to continue to throw it well. I'm expecting the Royals bullpen to continue to be pretty solid. The problem area for Kansas City is their offense. Obviously Perez and Isbell, a couple 2-run home runs looks good, but that is what happened yesterday. That's not what happens on a nightly basis. On a nightly basis, they're 29th in the majors in runs scored. They're 26th in on-base percentage. Not a super potent offense. But looking at the numbers here, guys, the Nationals are plus 143. The Royals are minus 170. We've got a total out there of 9 or 8.5. Both numbers still available. Washington's basically a 500 road team. They are 29-26 4 to the over on the road. The Royals are a 500 home team. They are 34-21 1 to the under at home. I don't necessarily despise under 9 in this game. I think that could be okay, but I'll certainly take the Royals here at minus 170. I think we'll see Wacha go out there and have a pretty good time in this game. Does that make me super convinced they're going to win? They're a team that struggles at the plate, and that always makes me a bit worried. Rolling through these games, we've got the Colorado Rockies headed to St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. Now, the Rockies took the 3-2 loss there in Game 1 thanks to a Donovan 2-run double there in the 8th inning to secure the win for the Cardinals. Now, the Rockies, having a historically bad season, will hand the ball to Kyle Freeland in this game. He is 2-12 on the year, a 5.53 ERA. His last start, 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs allowed in a 20-1 loss there against Toronto. The Rockies are 2-3 over his last 5 starts, so actually not that bad, but he has not been extremely sharp out there. We'll see what he can do here against the Cardinals, but can you expect anything good from this guy or from the Rockies pitching staff in general? I would lean towards no. Their bullpen is the second worst bullpen in the majors and getting consistently worse. Their offense is atrocious. There's nothing to praise about this team. They're 28th in runs scored and last in the majors in on-base percentage. So we'll see what they do here in St. Louis. The Cardinals are 61-59 on the year. They're one of those teams that has to really go nuts late in the season if they want to make the playoffs. They'll hand the ball here to Matthew Liberatore. He is 6-9 on the year, a 3.98 ERA. His last start, not the best there against the Dodgers. 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, but the Cardinals do win that game 5-3. he's been throwing the ball relatively well over 4 out of his last 5 starts, I'll say. So we'll see what version of him we get here going up against the Rockies. I don't know, he hasn't faced them yet this year. Probably stoked to be facing him at Busch Stadium as opposed to at on the road there. So we'll see what happens. The Cardinals bullpen has been very good down the stretch this season, a 3.60 bullpen ERA. Extremely respectable for a unit that was not very good early in the year. The offense, though, is terrible. 3-3-1, 5-5, and 6 over their last few games for a team that looked like they were top 10, top 5 in the majors in offense. Turns out that was a bit of a mirage early in the season. They've fallen off aggressively. So look at the numbers for this game, guys. The Rockies are plus 170. The Cardinals are minus 205. A total of 8.5 in this game. Colorado is 14-45 on the road. That's an MLB worst road mark. 34-24-1 to the under on the road. The Cardinals are 34-25 at home, 30-25-4 to the over at home. I do think over 8.5 is pretty live in this game. I think we see the Cardinals offense pop off here, and that does also lead me to look at the Cardinals at minus 205. Obviously, that would have to be a potential lock of the day situation. I don't think that's out of the question here, but is Liberatore in the Cardinals offense good enough to be in the lock of the day category? We'll have to wait and see. Cruising through these games, we've got the Arizona Diamondbacks headed to Texas to take on the Rangers. The Diamondbacks ended up giving up that game, losing 7-6 against Texas there yesterday. So slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing the Rangers. They're going to hand the ball to Anthony DeScalfini in this game. He's sporting a 4.20 ERA. His last couple times in the mound were bull starts, a terrible start there at the Athletics, and a pretty good start there against the Padres. He's not going super deep into games, though, and that's scary if you're the Diamondbacks because their bullpen is one of the 4 worst bullpens in the majors. Obviously, cut above the bottom 3, but still not very good. The offense clearly has taken a step back. I mean, not a huge step, I will say that. They're still 7th in runs scored and 12th in batting average. Have not fallen off the cliff despite trading away a lot of important guys there at the trade deadline. They're going to go up against the Rangers in this one, who are 61-59 on the year. We'll see. I mean, Eovaldi looking terrible out there his last start. That has to be a little bit concerning. They're only 2 games above 500. A lot of work to do down the stretch. They'll hand the ball to young Jack Leiter in this game. He's 7-6 on the year, a 4.05 ERA coming off of a short and not amazing start there against the Yankees. His last couple of times on the mound have left a lot to be desired, but he has also had very good stretches this season. So we'll see which version of him we get. The Rangers bullpen has not been a problem, been one of the best bullpens out there just across the MLB. The offense, though, pretty mediocre. 7-2-2-1-2-2 and 8 over their last few games. They're 25th in runs scored, 28th in batting average. They tried to improve there offensively, at the trade deadline. That hasn't really paid off too much yet. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Diamondbacks are plus 125. The Rangers are minus 150. We've got a total of 8.5 out there. Arizona's 27-31 on the road, a 500 over-under team on the road. The Rangers are 36-24 at home, 39-20-1 to the under at home. That's an MLB best to the under. Maybe we should look at under in this game. We should look at under in every Rangers game. I don't think that's out of the question. In terms of the side here, I will take Jack Leiter to go out there and have a good bounce back performance here, but at minus 150, I'm not showing a ton of value. Next on the docket, we've got the Boston Red Sox headed to Houston to take on the Astros. The Red Sox have now lost 4 out of their last 5 games. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Dustin May, and they need him to have a good outing because they are trying to put the heat there on Toronto for the top spot in the AL East. Dustin May, coming over there from the Dodgers, has made 1 start so far for the Astros, and 3 2 innings, 6 hits, and 3 earned runs against the Kansas City Royals is not what they were hoping for. So we'll see if he can bounce back a little bit here in his second start. Going up against the Astros could be tough. Could also not be that big of a deal. So we'll see how that goes. The bullpen for Boston's been pretty good this year overall. 3.37 bullpen ERA, top 5 in the majors. The offense has struggled a little bit their last few games. What are they at now? The 4th in runs scored and 8th in batting average, and the last few games just hasn't looked the same at the plate. So we'll see what they do here in Houston. The Astros have won 3 out of their last 4. They're still 1 game up on the Mariners in that red-hot AL West race. They're handing the ball to Spencer Arrighetti in this one. This young 25-year-old is 1-2 on the year, a 7.43 ERA. Just made his first start since April. They're back on August 6th, and he got shelled by the Marlins. So we'll see if he can bounce back from that. They could really, really use him to be, good down the stretch. They need him quite a bit. Now, the Astros bullpen has been fantastic. Don't get me wrong. They've been amazing this year. The offense, 7-7-4, 5-4, 7, and 8 over their last few games. They've been hitting the ball well. They're 2nd in batting average, 8th in on-base percentage. I do expect this team to continue to put up pretty good offensive numbers. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Red Sox are plus 100. The Astros are minus 120. A total of 8.5 in this one. Boston, 26-32 on the road. 32-25-1 to the over on the road. Houston's 35-24 at home, 32-25-2 to the under at home. I actually think over 8.5 is live in this game. Not loving what I've seen from either one of these starters so far. Both bullpens, though, are excellent. So over 8.5 is a small lean. I also think this is a pretty decent spot to, see a bounce back here from Spencer Arrighetti, I suppose, and taking Houston home, but no real confidence in that one. Next on the docket, we're looking at the LA Dodgers headed to Los Angeles to take on the Angels. So, that battle for LA series here. The Angels and Dodgers are actually playing right now with the Angels up 7-0 in the bottom of the 7th. We'll see if the Dodgers can make any sort of comeback in this one. We'll see. They are still, 2 games up there on the Padres, so things are heating up. The Dodgers will hand the ball in this game to Emmett Sheehan. He comes into this game 3-2 on the year, a 3.00 ERA. His last couple of outings have been pretty good. I would say his last 3 outings have been very solid. Good stuff there against Boston. A weird outing there against the Reds where he gave up 3 runs, but none of them were earned. And then a kind of weird outing there against the Cardinals where he went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, and 2 unearned runs in that one as well. So we'll see what he can do. I'm expecting him to be pretty good here against the Angels. It could be a clutch spot for him for sure. The Dodgers bullpen will be a concern. Apparently the rest of the year, a 4.24 bullpen ERA is not great. The offense obviously coming up with a goose egg so far in their current game, but they've been probably the best offense in the majors this year, so I'm not exactly going to be pressing the panic button anytime soon about that Dodgers offense. Now, they're taking on an Angels team that's now 56-62 on the year and definitely running out of time. They'll hand the ball to Tyler Anderson, a guy who was an ace last season and much less good this year. 2-7, a 4.63 ERA. Got shelled by Tampa Bay his last time out. Got shelled by the White Sox's start before that. Just not looking the same Tyler Anderson here this year. He did struggle aggressively against the Dodgers back in mid-May, so definitely a lot of reason to worry here about Tyler Anderson. The Angels bullpen continues to be one of the bottom tier bullpens in the majors. Not a good look there. And the offense, while they do have their nights, like their current night where they put up 7 runs, has not been good this year. They're 15th in runs scored, but 27th in batting average and 25th in on-base percentage. So I think they could be in for a tough night here against Emmett Sheehan and the Dodgers. Now, looking at the numbers, the odds makers agree with me. They've got the Dodgers at -178, the Angels at +150. A total of 9.5 in this game. The Dodgers, a couple games above 500 on the road, 32, 21, and 1 to the under on the road. The Angels are a 500 home team, 32, 24, and 4 to the over at home. Guys, I really like the Dodgers here at -178, especially if they do end up losing game 1 of this series, which looks very, very likely. Certainly give me the Dodgers here. I think Sheehan and their offense could carry them to a win in a game that could potentially be our lock of the day. Rounding into the home stretch on this one, guys, we've got the San Diego Padres headed to San Francisco to take on the Giants. The Padres and Giants are playing right now with the Padres up 4-1 in the top of the 8th inning. So they're going to be trying to finish that off and cut the lead even closer there to the Dodgers in that red-hot NL West race. The Padres will hand the ball in this game to Nestor Cortes. He is 1-1 this season, a 7.11 ERA. He's only made 1 start since coming over there from Milwaukee. 4 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs there, and a 3-2 win at Arizona. He wasn't the sharpest in that game, I'll be honest, but we'll see if he can make things happen. He walked 3, gonna have to get those control issues under control, even going up against a team like the Giants. Now, the Padres bullpen will be right there to pull him out of the fire. The best bullpen in the majors right now, and it's not particularly close. Their offense hasn't been amazing this year, although they're hitting the ball a little bit better here down the stretch. They're up to 11th in batting average in the majors and 10th in on-base percentage, so maybe they can ride those numbers to success and maybe even postseason success. We'll see how that goes. Now, they're going to be taking on a Giants team that's had a rough way to go. They're a 500 team right now. They're going to hand the ball to Robbie Ray. He is currently 9-5 on the year, a 2.85 ERA. His last start, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs given up there against the Pirates, but it wasn't a 4-2 win. His last, I will say, 3 starts have all been very, very good. So I think Robbie Ray pretty likely to go out there and have a good day against the Padres. In terms of his history against San Diego this year, a very good start against them back in early June, so maybe he can replicate a little bit of that. The bullpen for the Giants has been right there, one of the best bullpens in the majors, so that's not a problem. The problem for this team is their lack of offense. They're 26th in batting average, 27th in slugging percentage, and 24th in runs scored. None of that really equals very often putting up big crooked numbers, so I am worried about the Giants at the plate. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, the Padres are +110. The Giants are -130. A total of 7.5 out there. San Diego's 28-32 on the road, 33-25-2 to the under on the road. The Giants are 29-28 at home, 34-21-2 to the under at home. Maybe you could take a little sniff at under 7.5 in this game, but with Nestor Cortes on the mound, I worry, even going up against the Giants. I do think the Giants are the way you want to go in this one. -130, maybe not my favorite price tag I've ever seen, but with Robbie Ray on the mound throwing the ball so well and the Padres not looking good and he's got good history against them. Surely the Giants can find a way to get to Nestor Cortez. Last but not least here, guys, we've got the Tampa Bay Rays headed to Sacramento to take on the Athletics. The Rays and A's are playing right now, guys, with Tampa Bay up 5-1 in the top of the 7th. So looking pretty good to snap that 3-game losing streak. They'll hand the ball in this game to Shane Bass. He's 8-8, a 4.92 ERA, and this young kid's had a pretty good year. That being said, his last, probably 3 out of his last 4 starts, not so hot. So he's in need of a bounce back here. Going up against the Athletics might not be the easiest place to get it. The last time he faced them, though, he was good. Very good. Struck out 11 over 7 innings, gave up 3 earned runs on 7 hits. It was a 4-3 game that the Rays lost in extra innings, so we'll see what he looks like this time around against the Athletics. The Tampa Bay bullpen looked elite there for a while and is still pretty good. A 3.73 bullpen ERA, definitely not a problem. The offense, though, I mean, they're coming, they've scored 6 runs so far in their current game, so they're probably, looking fine in that one. They just haven't hit the ball as well down the stretch, and that's really made things tough on them. This is a team that's, going to mess the playoffs pretty much for sure, and that's a tough look after getting off to a very good first half of the season. Now, they're taking on an Athletics team that never really looked like they were going to make the playoffs, but has definitely overachieved given their preseason expectations. They're 53-67 on the year. They'll hand the ball to young-ish Jacob Lopez. He's 5-6 on the year, a 3.59 ERA. His last start, 7 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, struck out 10 there in a 6-0 win against Washington. The Athletics are 4-1 over his last 5 starts. He hasn't given up an earned run in any of his last 3 outings, and the Athletics are 3-0 over that span. So pretty freaking good stuff. We'll see what it looks like here against the Tampa Bay Rays, but I'm expecting him to go out there and be good, despite the fact he struggled against them back in late June. Now, the bullpen for the Athletics is terrible. That's a huge concern in every single game. The offense, though, has some pretty potent bats out there. Obviously, they're not looking good in their current game, but over the course of the year, 12th in runs scored, 6th in batting average, and 5th in slugging percentage. They've got some real bats out there, don't get me wrong. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Rays are -105, the Athletics are -115, a total of 10 in this game. Tampa Bay's 25-32 on the road, 31-24-2 to the under on the road. The Athletics are 23-34 at home, 27-26-4 to the over at home. I'm not going to take over 10. That seems insane. So I guess lean towards under. And I think I lean towards under pretty aggressively in this game. I don't think we're going to see a ton of offense. That's my favorite play in this game. In terms of a side, I will take the Athletics with Jacob Lopez on the mound. I think that's a very solid play as well. Will either one of these end up in the pinned comment? I would say they both have something of a chance. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. SC, you were the winner of the giveaway there on the 11th. Get down in the pinned comment, man, or get down there in the comments and let me know that you won that giveaway. I appreciate everyone watching. Make sure you're clicking the link down in the description to check out everything we offer at Stump The Spread, the premium plays that are coming off a perfect 3-0 day. Also get on that free email newsletter. It's great value straight to your inbox every single day. Guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.